Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Haas and today we're going to be talking about my number one biggest holding in cryptocurrency and by far, in my opinion, one of the best investments of this decade. And I'm going to be discussing exactly why I believe that, going into things like the lawsuit case and everything else. But today we are talking about XRP. Now I do want to mention one thing before I get into the video. It is insane how fast sentiment changes from one crypto to another. All it takes is a big green dildo. I really want to emphasize this to you guys, that you should not be buying cryptos at an extended price point. I'm not saying that XRP specifically can't go higher. I'm just saying that every time people seem to get all hyped about a coin is typically when it's pumped. So please be aware of that. Also, you got to look past the FUD. Sometimes you have to make bets based on your gut. So today we're going to be talking exactly about all of that, market sentiment, XRP, where it's going. But before we get started, go ahead and give the video a like. It really helps share the video out to a lot of people. And I think a lot of people need to hear this information. I think it's going to be very important, especially if anyone is now just entering XRP. Now, for anyone that has been subscribed to me previously, you guys know that some of my earliest videos have been about XRP. XRP is my number one holding. I've said that numerous times along this channel. Now, you might notice that I haven't made a dedicated XRP video in quite a while. And the reason for that is because of market sentiment. Typically, if I put out a video, it's going to do bad on the channel and it's going to affect how the channel grows. Now, I know what you might be thinking of. I should just be making content for what I believe in. But when the market sentiment is so strong and people are calling it a scam, it's really hard to get past myself and make a video that people are so against in terms of this coin. In some ways, I do understand the sentiment just because there's so much FUD around the coin, but at the same time, it's crazy how that all shifts once we have an over the $1 XRP. So looking at XRP, we're sitting at around $1.36. I want to go over the tokenomics first, explain some things about the tokenomics so you guys have an idea of XRP and what's going on. So you might notice that the circulating supply is roughly 46 billion tokens, but the maximum supply is 100 billion. So 100 billion tokens were created at inception of XRP. This is to reduce in terms of the mining costs and everything else. So it's a more eco-friendly token. That being said, Ripple, the company, holds the majority of this, the large, vast amount of this amount, and it's in escrow, and 1 billion tokens are unlocked every single month, and that's put towards liquidity corridors, exchanges, whatever it is, and then most of it, and typically it all goes right back into the escrow and gets tagged on to the end. You might be thinking, okay, Ripple has a huge amount of XRP in this regard. And you'd be right in saying that because of the escrow. But the fact of the matter is they can't get to the escrow whenever they want. They've been very, very open about that escrow and where that XRP goes in their quarterly reports that are posted every single quarter. Amongst all the FUD, it doesn't matter how transparent Ripple can be as a company, people are still going to give FUD and say they're ripping everyone off and dumping on the community. If you can look past that, look past the FUD, read the reports, you would actually understand that that's not at all the case. In fact, you'd even hear some FUD about Jed McCaleb selling XRP, and the fact of the matter is, it only results to under 1% of the total market volume, so it's really not impacting the price at all in terms of the contract that they signed with Jed. So we are looking at around 46 billion circulating tokens. We have now hit a market cap of 62 billion, which is an incredible market cap alone. I do think that this can go way higher with how the token works, but I will explain that a little bit more when we talk about the charts. And currently we're sitting at a $1.35 XRP, which is approximately a 31% change. Huge, massive rise for XRP. It's good to see it finally for me as an XRP holder. And I want to be clear about this video specifically. This isn't going to touch on any of the conspiracy stuff. If you're caught into the whole conspiracy around XRP, I'd probably get out and try to get an objective look at the token, where the token can go. That way you're not looking at these $10,000 XRP price predictions and thinking that that's plausible, because the reality is no, that is not plausible. At least not now. Maybe 20, 30 years from now, who knows? But a $10,000 XRP, if you're seeing those videos, just look away. In terms of XRP, it mostly doesn't perform better than most cryptos until finally it does. This is typically how XRP works. And sorry about that. For whatever reason, I was on the 15-minute chart. Never look at the 15-minute chart. Now I want to talk about this looking at the previous bull market and what XRP did. So we see all during this period where crypto and everything was in a bull market, XRP basically traded level at the 21 cents after its big pump from around the 15-cent mark. So you can see here was the first big pump, and then it basically just traded level, didn't really do much until finally it did do much. And ultimately at the end of the day, XRP outperformed almost every single cryptocurrency as XRP as it was. It hit a total of around $3.40, which is now where I expect XRP to go, at least when this SEC case is all done with. Okay, so let's talk about what everyone is here watching this video for. Where could XRP go? So we know that XRP is still to this day the best arbitrage between cryptocurrencies. It's the way that I transfer funds from one exchange to another. I'll typically buy XRP on one exchange, move it to another exchange that accepts XRP, sell that into USDT, and then buy the crypto that I want. And the reason why I do that is because trading in exchanges, it's a marginal fee, very, very small compared to the gas fee that I would use sending one crypto to another. But because XRP's gas fee is so small, then it makes it the perfect arbitrage vehicle to move value from one exchange to the other. This is the exact same properties that makes XRP such an excellent utility coin, because it works to move value from one asset to another. And that doesn't even need just to be currency. You could translate anything that has value into another denomination of value with XRP. That's how it works. It works as an arbitrage. And as long as RippleNet has the trading pair, then you can make that trade. So that is why XRP is so appealing. That's why XRP is so appealing for cross-border transfers, because of the low fees and everything else. That's why it's appealing to big businesses and banks. So obviously it has its uses in the financial industry, and especially onboarding the legacy financial system. We've talked before about the FX system and the 1.8 quadrillion derivatives market. This is something that Flare Finance and XRP Fork is working to tackle. I don't even think that the real value is what Brad Garlinghouse says in terms of cross-border transfers. I think the real value is in the FX market. So if you're looking at XRP and you're thinking it's too late, well, one, it's not too late. And two, it's definitely not too late to get an account on BitTrue and start buying the Flare token for 1 XRP each. And that's going to go up, I promise you. But at this point, I would say the value is pretty low. So if you have some XRP and you didn't get into the Flare airdrop, it might be worth it for you to just go buy a little bit of Flare on BitTrue. So let's talk about where XRP can go. And we're going to be talking about this in the most realistic light that I ever can. So the first and foremost thing that we have barreling down under us is this SEC lawsuit. And with this SEC lawsuit, there's a lot of FUD around it and everything else. And obviously that's changing with the market sentiment and the pumping and the fact that the case is doing very well. I would recommend that you look up these two lawyers, Jeremy Hogan and John E. Deaton. John E. Deaton is working at bringing a lawsuit to the SEC, people versus the SEC essentially, so XRP holders versus the SEC for their wrongful suit here. And Jeremy Hogan has been giving excellent updates on the SEC case, so if you want a lawyer's perspective on the case, how frivolous it is, I would recommend you go look that up. But ultimately, this case is completely frivolous. It only targets the XRP that Ripple sold in its early investor rounds back in 2014. So really, the XRP that we hold and sell and trade today is not a security, so it doesn't matter. So the price was artificially low, and for me, I kept on buying. A lot of people said it was a scam. A lot of people gave a lot of FUD. I kept buying. And I want you guys to take this as a lesson for you specifically. If you're somebody that doesn't buy tokens because of what people say, even though you've researched it, even though you know it's a good token, then you're either in the wrong space or you need to stop listening to market sentiment and really trust your gut and your research. And I wouldn't even just trust me. Obviously, I'm biased in this regard. I try to give as unbiased analysis as possible, but XRP is my #1 holding. It's the second altcoin that I ever got into. So where are we going? I think as soon as we get some sort of clarity for the existing XRP, we don't even need a resolution for the case. We need some sort of clarity for the existing XRP. I think $3.40 is in order, and probably in very, very short order. We could even get that sooner, but I'm a little tentative on saying that. I think this is an incredible rise that we've gone through. I'm even surprised that we're pumping a little bit more. I thought we would retrace below $1, but I'm very happy that we are holding at around $1.30. We're at $1.28 right now, but this is to be expected, especially with a cryptocurrency like XRP and the volatility. XRP is going to hold a lot more risk than maybe another token like Bitcoin, but I do think that the ROI is going to beat out most tokens like Bitcoin. So we're talking about the previous all-time high, $3.40. That's where we're going to hit in the near term. But what about the end of the bull market? And that is where we get really interesting. Number one, we have the private ledger that has just been created for banks to basically be onboarded in. Now, you could look at that, well, okay, Ripple's making a private ledger for the banks, but everyone else uses the XRP ledger. Well, that doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, we're all using XRP as arbitrage, so it doesn't matter. We know that there's utility in the banks. We know that there's utility in the FX system in terms of the $1.8 quadrillion derivative market. That's futures, stock options, everything else. You have cross-border transfers. You have a slew of other utility aspects that could come from XRP and the XRP network. And then you have the airdrops like Flare Finance that's doing incredible things in terms of bringing smart contracts to the Flare system. In fact, if you look back at the history, and I made an XRP video that I'm going to link above, Vitalik Buterin actually got the idea for smart contracts from Stefan Thomas, the former CTO of Ripple, and now the CEO of Coil. So how far can I go? Let's talk about where we were in the bull market. So this is probably where we would expect us to be now at this point, jumping up into this little spike here, right? So we could be trading level at $1.30 for quite a while. I personally think that we'll probably see $3.40 somewhere in this region. So approximately with this rise, we saw about a 1,400%. I think this chart is a little off just because I'm looking at Bitfinex and Tether, but about a 1,400% increase. So if we look now, and we can see that this is nowhere near the increase that we saw before, but if we look now, so if we take a measuring tool and do the same sort of increase from this point, from the $1.20, so around the same increase is going to net around a $19 XRP. Now you might be thinking, how realistic is a $19 XRP? Well, excluding trading volume alone, just the utility can easily reach this target with the amount of money that could be coming in from fiat currency, CBDCs, and then everything else in terms of legacy markets being onboarded so they can get their fiat currencies and their other currencies into a digital. So it could be pretty realistic when you factor in just the sheer amount of money that could come in just from its utility aspects, regardless of the actual investing and what we're doing in terms of investing in XRP. Just having money in the system is going to increase its value. And the reason why I've invested in XRP, even from the get-go, I saw utility in Bitcoin, don't get me wrong. And I see utility in ETH, don't get me wrong. But I see even more utility and global utility, especially for our legacy financial market, to be onboarded onto this system. We know a couple of things have happened. The repo market has crashed. Currencies around the world are in a very, very dire strait, and something needs to change about our global financial system. And I think XRP is one of the vehicles to help change that system for the better. So in terms of my price targets and when I'm going to start selling XRP, I will start selling my dollar cost average strategy at around a $10 XRP. I'll probably hold on to a good chunk of my XRP to collateralize within the Flare network system, but most likely I will start at least selling and taking profits at a $10 XRP, which I think is very, very realistic for this bull market. It means I'm not going to get caught out if it doesn't hit these upper markets. Now, some people might say it could get more. Obviously, if you take this increase and put it from the $3.40 mark, it goes to roughly over a $40 XRP. Sure, it's all realistic. I mean, anything at the end of the day is realistic. I'm not going to hazard a guess and say it could get that price, but I'm at least saying tentatively we are at least looking at a $10 XRP by the end of the bull market, and I do think it could go a lot higher. So let's do some quick math here just to see. We have 46 billion tokens, and if we times that by 18, we would need just shy of a $1 trillion market cap to hit that $18 mark. Now, I know it's lofty, I totally understand that, but my price target, again, to sell is half of this target, or nearly half, so roughly $500 billion, which we can easily get. I think we can even still get this $828 billion. I don't think that this is incredibly unrealistic for this bull market. I think it could seem that way, but I still think we have a lot more to grow in terms of the market cap. We see the crypto market entirely sitting at almost $2.2 trillion today. And that's just steadily increasing, and I think that's going to be increasing over the next couple of months. Again, you want to be very, very cautious about setting a price target and saying, I'm going to sell all of my XRP at that. My strategy is the dollar cost average out strategy. I'm going to be selling a percentage once I hit $10 and then little percents after it starts going up from there until finally it starts going down, and then eventually I will pick a point. This is the market that I want to hold. Now, in terms of a market crash, when we do see a crypto market crash, we will most likely see XRP retrace back down to the in between the $1 to $3.40 mark. We will see it float in around there, but I definitely think the days of a 28-cent XRP are gone. And if you fought through the FUD and you're here today as an XRP holder, you have diamond hands. But if you're somebody that fell for the giant FUD campaign and subsequently every other FUD campaign that happens with all other cryptocurrencies that are baseless, then you really need to take a look at how other people are influencing your decisions and where you're losing out because of those. Now, I'm not saying go against what you researched. If you found something concerning about a cryptocurrency, don't go into it, obviously. But if you're just listening to people just spew out stupid things, then yeah, you're going to be influenced by stupid decisions, and that's going to make you lose out on some gains. Hopefully people wake up from that and aren't so easily manipulated into not investing in a token. But that's it for me. Hopefully this video gave you a little bit of insight on XRP, about this SEC case, what's going on with it, and where it could potentially go. My general advice in terms of getting into something is always the same. Try not to buy green candles, but if you don't hold it, it's probably too risky not to hold it. So I'd at least buy a little bit, maybe dollar cost average, but I wouldn't throw the farm at it just yet. Maybe wait for it to dip a little bit, but who knows? I could be wrong and it could not dip. I don't know. We're in a bull market. Anything goes at this point. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a like. It really helps YouTube share it around, and I know a lot of people might need this XRP information. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a subscribe. I do a lot of other videos, not just XRP related, but generally about all cryptocurrencies and the cryptocurrency market. We're not maximalists here. We like all cryptocurrencies, and we are moving into a multi-blockchain world. All right, everyone. Happy hodling.